What's up, everybody? Brock here, and welcome to Brock's Long Box episode number 3. So this is going to be another collection highlight video, and I'm going to do the top 10 Silver Age comics in my collection. So I already did the top 10 modern comics and top 10 Bronze Age comics. So now we're going to do the top 10 Silver Age comics. And these are probably the top 10 best overall comics as well in my collection. But we will get right into it. So at number 10, we've got Thor number 150. So that is a Jack Kirby cover. And it is the first cover appearance and third overall appearance of Hela, the goddess of death. I really like the character Hela. I just think she's so cool. I listen to a lot of metal music, so you don't get much more metal than the goddess of death. I love the green outfit. I mean, now obviously they already had Hela in the Thor movie, but as far as the comics go, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. So number 9, we've got Submariner number 5. So that is the first appearance of Tiger Shark. Just an awesome villain. I mean, you can't get much more 60s, 70s with Tiger Shark. Then, of course, they kind of brought him back in the 90s. This is a John Buscema cover. And I actually don't have a lot of Submariner in my collection. I think I only have like 2 or 3 issues. It's just not one I've really picked up yet, to be honest. But I really wanted the first appearance of Tiger Shark. So that is number 9. At number 8, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 39. Just an absolutely classic, iconic cover by John Romita Sr. And this one has obviously had multiple cover homages done. Classic story as well. It's the story where both Green Goblin and Spider-Man are revealed to each other their true identities of Norman Osborn and Peter Parker. I love this cover. It's one of my favorite all-time covers, to be honest. All right. At number 7, we have a comic book that would have been higher on the list, but it honestly came down to condition. We've got Incredible Hulk number 3. So that is the third appearance of the Hulk. And this was obviously from the first 6-issue run of Incredible Hulk that would get canceled. And then obviously they would later bring the Hulk back in Fantastic Four issue number 12, I believe. And then he would go on to become one of the biggest Marvel characters there is. This is also the first appearance of a character called Ringmaster. So as I said, this one would have been higher except for condition. So there's a pretty big chunk missing out here. There's some old tape on it. If you look at the top there, you can see a lot of the Marvel chipping. The spine has a lot of wear, but it is complete and attached. And if you look at a lot of these, it's actually kind of hard to find any that are complete. There's a lot of them that are coverless, or a lot of times where they would cut out the logo. All right. And keeping with that theme, we've got number 6, Incredible Hulk 102. So this is the first issue of the long-running Incredible Hulk series from when it switched over from the Tales to Astonish series. It was part of the big premiere issue in 1968, what would later be dubbed as the Marvel Explosion. So that's when you would see just tons of comics coming out from Marvel. And I just love that cover, love the transformation of the Hulk into Bruce Banner. And I want to talk about the cover for a little bit. So this is actually a cover by an artist named Mary Severin. And I feel like Mary Severin doesn't get enough recognition for the artists that were around that time. And if you look up her work, she just did some amazing artwork in the 60s and 70s. And this is probably my favorite artwork that she did. So very cool. So number 5, we've got another 1968 big premiere issue. And this is Captain America 100. So another Jack Kirby cover. So this is from when it switched over from Tales of Suspense to the Captain America run, the long run. And Tales of Suspense was shared title between Captain America and Iron Man. And when it switched over in 1968, that's when Iron Man #1 came out. And then Captain America got the 100. So very cool cover. And this one's in pretty decent shape, as well as the Hulk 102. All right. And at number 4, we've got Avengers number 57. So the first appearance of the Vision. Another just iconic cover. Can't go wrong. And this one's actually in really high grade for being such a dark cover. And at some point, would like to get this one graded. But yeah, I just love the sort of red wash. And again, another first appearance where it's like, it's just there. You know, when people pick these up, when it came out, they're, new character. I mean, there's no question about it. All right. And at number 3, so this is the first graded comic that I ever got in my collection. Now, I did not send this in. I purchased it graded. But it was one that I was like, okay, I want a graded copy of that. We've got Doctor Strange, number 169. So yet again, another one from the 1968 big premiere issues that came out. However, this one didn't get the sort of stamp that some other issues had. There was a few issues that didn't get that sort of stamp on the cover. So this is a CGC 7.5 off-white to white pages. I'll flip it around so you can see the back. And again, this is another one. This is one of my all-time favorite covers. I love the character Doctor Strange. I'm working on getting full runs of all the volumes of Doctor Strange. And this first volume only had 15 issues, but they were all in the Silver Age, so they're all a little pricier. But you know what? If you're going to start somewhere, 7.5 in the first issue, not a bad place to start. And that was a Dan Atkins cover. So number 2, we've got X-Men number 12. So I've said in multiple videos that Juggernaut is one of my favorite characters. I know, he's kind of a random character to gravitate towards, but since I'm showing this issue, I'll explain why Juggernaut's one of my favorites. So I collected comics as a kid, and obviously as a kid I was never able to afford a lot of these older X-Men issues, even back then when, comics are way more expensive now. And then when I got back into collecting about 15 years ago, this was the first comic that I actually, spent some serious money on. And I've always liked the character Juggernaut. Love the cover. Another Jack Kirby cover. This one's probably like a 3.5 to a 4.0 range, and I do want to get it graded at some point. So that was number 2. Can't go wrong. It's also the origin of Professor X, as well as the first appearance and origin of Juggernaut. At number 1, drum roll please. And I know what you're thinking, dude, you just said Juggernaut's one of your favorite characters. How is his first appearance not your number 1? Well, that's because there was one comic that I have in my collection that I couldn't not put at number 1. And it is Silver Surfer #1. Yet again, 1968, big premiere issue. So I believe there was a total of 9 issues that came out with those from when the Marvel explosion happened. So this is a square-bound issue. That's why it's got a 25-cent cover price on it. And it is the origin of the Silver Surfer. It's the first time we find out Silver Surfer's real name, Norrin Radd. And it goes into the origin of his planet and all of that stuff. So, and this one is in really good shape, especially for the square-bound issues that came out around that time. The spines would easily become detached at both the top and the bottom. So to have this in a high-grade copy, this is one of those books I look at and I can't believe I have it. Yeah, it's not the, FF 48, 49, 50. But, and I don't know if the camera will pick this up or not, just to show off that square-bound spine in really decent shape. And the corners are sharp. There's no chipping. I mean, black cover, dark covers definitely don't hold up well. That's it for the top 10 Silver Age comic books in my collection. Let me know in the comments what you think. Again, would you rank anything higher, lower? And yeah, so as far as the Brock's Long Box episodes go, I think for the next episode, I might do... Because these lists were actually pretty hard to narrow down. It was like picking, my favorite kid. Like, you just don't do that. But, so I think for the next episode, I might do, instead of doing a top 10, I might do like honorable mentions for these 3 lists, just as all as one, incorporated video. So, all right, guys. I hope you guys are all staying safe out there, and we will see you on the next one. Thank you so much.